Hello, hello. Welcome, ladies. Hi, I'm Taylor Thompson here, and I've got my beautiful special guest, Miss Brandy Shaver. And so we're going live. Normally, this is a master class that I would have only for members. But here's what I did today. Because we have so much value, I wanted to share it with the entire community. I wanted to give you a bird's eye view of what we do inside the membership at the She Network. I wanted to bring the value to you today. So grab your pens, grab your notebooks, because we're going to be talking about social media strategy, some real fun ways, easy ways that you can break the algorithm here. So I'm super excited to have you here. Wendy, how are you? Good to see you. So glad that you're here. So as you're coming on, let us know you're here. We want to say hi. We want to say hey. Listen, this is going to be a fun class. I love Brandy. I got a chance to meet her at Fernie's event, right? In Vegas. We got her first time at Fernie's event, and no excuses. And she was speaking on stage. And so, this is definitely a language. She speaks a marketing language that, is completely out of my league for sure. But she wanted to come on here and wanted to share some simple ways that you can incorporate this in your daily method of operation. Share. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys grab some notebooks, grab some pens, and take some notes here. Brandy, how are you?
I am so good. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to share with the She Network and be able to give you guys some hacks that is going to totally explode your business. You're going to have so many leads and prospects and people everywhere that you're going to be like, holy cow, now what do I do with them? So I'm excited for today.
I love this. And like I said, ladies, that you're coming on, just know that this is what we do inside of the membership. But I really thought, okay, I'm going to open it up. I want everybody to see what we do over here, what a master class looks like, what happens inside the membership. So I'm opening it up for everybody today. So welcome. So I'm gonna turn it over to you. So
awesome.
I'm just gonna be here, and I'm gonna kind of go backstage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna write down my notes as you're teaching. So I'm gonna give you the full stage. So
awesome. Thank you, Taylor, so much. Thank you. All right, perfect. So I'm excited about today because we all have things that we need to do in our business to grow it, right? Now, this is whether you're an entrepreneur, a coach, a network marketer, I don't care what you're doing. You have to have leads and people coming into your business. And the best way to do that is to have a daily mode of operation that does 4 things, okay? And we're gonna talk about, get really deep into this. But the 4 things are, you've got to grow an audience. You have to engage with that audience or build influence over that audience. And you've got to promote to that audience. And then you've got to appreciate that audience, okay? That's one of the keys. If you don't appreciate the audience goes away. So we're going to talk about this, how you incorporate this in your life every day. So number 1 is, what is a daily mode of operation? This is something, so we call it a DMO in our language. And some people are like, well, wait, I don't even know what that is, because maybe you're brand new. Maybe you just got here, right? And that's okay. So a daily mode of operation is what a DMO means. That means that it's something that you do every day that is going to help you grow your business. And a daily mode of operation is you getting in, getting out, getting what you need done, and moving on. All right. We don't need, 15,000 things on our list of things to do. All right. Because that's just going to overwhelm you. So one big mistake network marketers make when they take their business online is that they don't know what to do in what order to get results using social media. And I'm going to give you the secrets today. I'm going to kind of tell you how you can hack the algorithm. But the algorithm isn't designed for you to sell on social media. It's actually not. In fact, it's very much the opposite, all right? So in order for you to get results with your curiosity posting that I hope you're doing to attract people to you and things that you're doing on social media, you've got to know how the algorithm works, okay? And it never fails, because I've actually done this. So don't think that I'm totally judging you, but it never fails. We try to beat the system, right? We get lazy and we're like, oh, I just don't want to do this, right? Well, I can tell you, trying to cheat the system is just going to get you super frustrated, and it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for, okay? You're not going to get eyes on your posts. You're not going to get those sales or those customers or those new clients or those new team members. And I know you're here inside the She Network and you're not lazy, right? So how do you get results and what do you do in what order to get those results? All right, we're going to get into that. But first, let's talk about what builds a real business on social media, because I'm sure you've heard this, the saying, master the mundane, right? And is it all right for me to be real with you? This is going to be eye-opening for some of you. Some of you are going to have to look yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself, do I have what it takes to build a real business? Because it's easy to blame others, blame the algorithm, blame life, blame, not enough time, blame your boss, blame your spouse, blame anyone and everyone, blame the laundry, right? But yourself that your business isn't growing. And I've actually done this. I have totally fallen into this, this mode, right? Where I'm like, oh, I just don't have enough time. I've got too many kids. I've got all these things going on, right? But guess whose business it is? It's yours. And I can guarantee you that if you had a brick and mortar business that you'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on growing or, getting ready to open, you wouldn't work your business the way that sometimes you work your business because of, it's simple and you work from home and it's online, right? It's yours and it's your responsibility to work your business. So the biggest issue I know for me, when I wasn't clear on what to do every day, I found myself just like scrolling inside of social media, right? I'd get lost. I'd be like, I'd see, a notification pop up from Taylor and I'd be like, oh, what's she up to today, right? And I wasn't getting anything done. So the question is I want to ask yourself, and again, this is no judgment. This is what I do for myself every day. Would you hire or fire yourself based on what you did in your business yesterday? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to work 15, 24 hours a day, right? This means, or even weekends. This means that you have a daily mode of operation and you're completing tasks that actually make you money. And again, no judgment here. It's just what actually is happening in your business. So you've got to take a check, evaluate what's going on. And sometimes I know I find myself doing this a lot more lately because it's starting to get warmer outside. And so I'm like, oh, I want to go out and garden and, get out of the house and all the things. And so I find myself staring out the window. But sometimes we think about our businesses more than we're actually building our businesses. Okay. So we're thinking about it in our mind, which makes us feel like that we're doing our business all the time. All right. So if you answered no, I would not hire myself today based on my actions I took yesterday. Great news. Today is a new day and you can set different goals and get to those goals based on what you do today. So more than likely you need a mode of operation or behaviors that have you getting to those goals. So the first thing that I want you to do, and you might have to think about this because we don't have time today to dig deep into goals because that's not what I wanted to cover. You've got to know where you're going, right? So if you are going from A to B, you've got to know what B is. A is where you are right now, but you've got to know where you're going for B. All right. So last year when I decided, I'm like, okay, this year I'm going to do $1 million in commissions. I knew exactly where I was going. Okay. I worked that goal backwards and I figured out how much commissions I need to make weekly. And I put behaviors behind that. So that's one of your homework assignments for today is figuring out where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going nowhere. Okay. Just willy-nilly, like doing things like, it can be the next rank. It could be just enrolling your first person or your next person, right? It could be, I'm going to enroll 10 people in February. It could be, I'm going to get 5 new coaching clients. It could be a monetary, commission or whatever, right? But you've got to figure this out. Okay. You've got to figure it out. And then the DMO, the daily mode of operation, is the actions you take every day without exception. These actions get done every day consistently. Okay. So let's talk about why a DMO is important. Number one, you're clear on what you have to do every day to build your business. So there's no like, oh man, what should I do today, right? To get my business to move forward. You're very clear. You know X, Y, and Z. That's what we're doing today, okay? You know exactly how long it's going to take you to get it done after you've done it for a couple days or even weeks to evaluate how long it's going to take. And it gets you closer to your goals each time you complete it, okay? So those are the main things that a DMO does. And the last thing that it does is it's really most important to me is you stop wasting time and you have more time to do the things that you want to do. Right? Because who wants to build their business 15 to 24 hours a day? No one, right? We want to build a business that makes sense, that makes us some money, that we can take care of our family and our, friends and do the things that we want, live the lifestyle we want. but we've got to figure out how to get there. All right. So a bad DMO, which means that you basically don't have one, is you're just kind of like doing whatever every day, and you're not really clear on moving forward, and you don't have a clear plan of action. It's kind of just willy-nilly, right? A great DMO that is will get results is one that has clear, defined actions you take every day. So we're going to talk about what those are. It's simple. So it's not a list like 15,000 miles long, okay? It's simple. It's easy to do every day, even when you're busy. And you kind of want to keep it under an hour and a half if possible. And it's full of all the activities that make you money, okay? Well, here's the thing. I'm an entrepreneur that hates structure. How many of you are entrepreneurs that hate structure? Because that's a lot of the reason we're entrepreneurs, right? It's because we hate structure. We want to do what we want. And that's how I was. I was like, I hate structure. I don't want to deal with a calendar. I just want to do what I want. I don't need a boss telling me what to do. Okay. So that's a problem. We've got to change our mindset around it, change our beliefs around structure. I'm going to show you how here in a second. What about if you work a job? You still need a DMO. What if you have kids? You still need a DMO. What if you don't feel like it? You still need a DMO. Well, you're definitely going to want to stick around and find out what we're going to talk about today, because having a DMO and being loyal, it's actually changed my entire life. I was the one that was like, no boxes. You can't put me in a box. I don't follow the rules. I do exactly what I want, and I'm going to build my business regardless of what you tell me, right? And what I found is I was working all the time. How many of you feel like you're like, oh my gosh, I'm working all the time and I'm not getting to where I'm going? This is because your DMO is not clearly defined to hit your goals, and you're not being loyal to it. That was one of the keys for me, is I was not being loyal to it. It takes skill, and it's going to take some practice, and you're going to have to think outside of the box, and we're going to start super small, okay? Because if you get overwhelmed, you're not going to do anything, all right? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to track our activity and find out where we have time to work our business. So what I want you to do is I want you to get into your calendar today. And if you don't have a calendar, you can use like Google Calendar. You can use paper calendar if you're old school, whatever you want to do. I saw friends that use paper calendar. I actually use Google because it sends me alerts on my phone. And I've trained myself to really be loyal to those alerts only on my calendar, right? But you've got to figure this out. So you're going to want to find on your calendar those times that you have to build your business. Now, if you're working a full-time job, obviously from your job time when you go to work to when you get home, you can't work during that for your business, right? You've got to figure out another time. The other things is you want to make sure that you have personal time on there, right? You've got to have family time, vacation, okay, flex time, and let's see, what else do you need? I think that's pretty much it. So first thing I want you to do is put in vacation time, okay? That might sound really strange. Well, you know what? If you don't put it in your calendar, it's never going to happen. And I don't mean you have to fly to Maldives or whatever and spend 3 weeks in the Maldives for a vacation. You can have a simple vacation at home with your family in the basement and build tents. We've done this before, where we don't spend a ton of money. We just stay home, play games. We kind of just like tune out the entire world, turn off our phones, turn off work, and we spend time together. So it's simple, right? You can put a vacation into your calendar. So get that in there. The second thing I want to go in your calendar is time for yourself, okay? So time for yourself is super important. This is maybe meditation if you like to work out. I like to call mine thinking time, when it's just me and I can just like, get my thoughts together and not be working. Okay, so it's time for me and where, my kids aren't necessarily around. Then you've got to have family time. This is important if you have a family or a spouse. We definitely want to keep our families and our spouses. We don't want our jobs to take over all of that, our businesses to take over all that. Then you've got to have a little bit of time, flex time, when things kind of hit the fan and things kind of fall apart. So find these times in your calendar, and I'm going to just quickly maybe share my screen if I can. If it will let me. Taylor might have to add it. And if she's not here, there she goes. Okay, so what I want to show you is my calendar. Now, don't freak out, because I've got a lot of calendars connected to my calendar right now, but I'm going to show you my calendar, okay? So you can see that I have right here, Taylor She Network, right? And then I've got a call for my network marketing team. I've got a meeting with the amazing Tina Torres that you guys probably are aware of. And I even put lunch in here, but I want to just show you really quickly. See, my time is up here, hour of power. Okay. I put my personal time in, my kid's time is here. Okay. You've got to break these up. I've got Ridge right here as a game. He has a game tonight. Okay. And, we've got dinner that has to happen. Okay. So there's different things that you're going to put into your calendar. And again, this is practice. Okay. It's not something you're going to be used to unless you've been doing it before. Okay. So get your times figured out in your calendar. And if you have any questions on that at all, you can message me or let me know. All right. So we're going to move on. So once you've got your goal down, the date it will happen, and you've got your times open in your calendar, you have got to figure out how this works. Okay. So we're going to talk about the algorithm and how to make friends with it and what actions actually make you money. Okay. Because who gets into Facebook? One of my friends calls it wastebook. We get into Facebook and we get distracted, right? We don't get our social media actions done that's actually going to build our business. So the number one rule you must never forget to get results on social media is that you have to give more love to get love. That's how this works. Okay. That's how the algorithm works. And there's no way that you can cheat this. Okay. I've tried it. I've tried it 1,000 ways. I'm the one that's, like I said, doesn't like to follow rules. And if you're with me, drop me one of those hallelujah hands in the comments. I don't love rules, but here's the thing. It's designed for you to connect with other people. Okay. And if you didn't catch that, connect. You've got to connect with other people. The number one thing that has to happen for people to see your amazing posts and your amazing content and to see that you're a human is that you have to connect with them first. Okay. So you've got to give love to receive love, and connecting with other humans about your products and opportunity is the only way that your business is going to grow. Okay. If you're coaching, you've got to let people know that's what you do. You've got to do grow, influence, promote, and appreciate. Remember, those are the 4 things. So I'm going to give you a daily mode of operation that is going to do all 4 of these things every day. All right. So now let's talk about what actually makes you money in your business. So if you're a coach, growing that audience makes you money, right? If you're a network marketer, growing that audience makes you money. Okay. You've got to engage with that audience. You've got to open the door, ask questions. Okay. You've got to follow up. This is where the money is, right? If Taylor and I just connected at that summit and we didn't ever connect on social media where we could chat or whatever, you guys wouldn't be getting this training, and Taylor wouldn't have been done a podcast for me last week in my community, right? So the follow-up is actually where all the money is. So just remember that. Number 5 is appreciating others. So like I said, the 4 things. And then if you're a network marketer, you've got to enroll team members and enroll customers. If you're a coach, you've got to enroll customers and, get new coaching clients interested in what you're doing. Okay. So if you are in network marketing, these are the actions that make you money. Everything else that you do supports these actions. All right. So if you're a coach, same thing, right? You got to get clients to eventually pay you money to grow your business. All right. So this is what I want to talk about now. And I've personally tested this DMO. I actually learned this from a guy named John Eric Mosler. So if you don't follow him, go follow him. I tested this DMO for myself for almost 6 months, and I tweaked it and tested it and added what worked for me. And so I'm going to give you what has been an incredible daily mode of operation, and you're going to want to write this down. And you know what? I might even be able to post this in the comments. Let me just copy this and see if I can't post it. All right. So number 1, spend 30 to 60 minutes leaving meaningful comments on your prospect's post. You've got to create conversation, okay? And remember to give a lot of love, okay? Use 140 characters. Listen, our gifts, how we get lazy and we're like thumbs up or a hug, the new hug emoji, the little hug reaction on Facebook, right? It's not going to cut it here. Facebook doesn't care about any of that. Social media is totally moved on. It's looking for a real connection with human beings. And 140 characters, you're like, are you serious? Listen, I've tested it and it works. So make sure you're having meaningful conversations. And an example I'm going to give you, because when I taught my team this, they were like 140 characters. Like, how do we do that, right? An example would be, I just had a friend that his son had a severe nut allergy, right? And he posted the story, and I'd actually talked to him before because I noticed something was up with, he was missing in some of our meetings. And so I sent him a quick message, right? Are you okay? Like, is there anything that I can help with? That kind of thing. So I knew the story, right? But he posted the story, and in the story, right, he's like talking about how terrified he was that his son was going to die because of this nut allergy. And on the bottom, right, I just started having a conversation. I'm like, oh my gosh, can you imagine, like, if you guys didn't even know he had, because they had an EpiPen at home. They didn't know he had a nut allergy, but he has other allergies, right? So I just had a conversation underneath his post, okay? And we're talking underneath his post. We will eventually take that to Messenger, right? But you've got to get really good at the habit of having conversations on other people's posts, okay? So, you know, if you see somebody just got married, oh my gosh, congratulations, that's awesome. You know, what was your favorite thing about the day? Or, you know, I loved her dress. Where did you get it? Or, you know, just having human conversation. And here's the thing. If you met somebody in a, you know, like a networking event, or like Taylor and I met at No Excuses, right? We had a conversation. We didn't just like go by and I didn't slap her upside the face with a thumbs up, right? Like you would talk to people. So you've got to learn to talk to people on social media, right? So number 2, check your notifications and spend 5 to 10 minutes here. Okay. It's like a fire. You keep it lit. It's not an inbox. And I used to think mine was an inbox. So you've got to keep it lit. You're going to blow on the fire. All right. Number 3, add 5 to 10 perfect prospects as friends. Use the rules. Okay. Now I have rules on who you can friend and who you cannot, because you can only have 5,000 friends on your personal profile. So you want someone you actually want to work with, right? You want to check them out. Do they live in a country where your company, you can actually recruit them? And they're not weirdos, okay? That's my rules. So you can use my rules or you can make your own. Number 4, post or go live, okay? This is where you're going to switch it up every day, right? You're not going to post and then, you know, you're not going to just post every day. You're not going to go live every day. You're going to kind of switch it up. You can ask questions, right? You want to keep it interesting. You can use polls, but really use your profile as a place to provide value. Now, one of the caveats to this DMO is that 1, 2, 3, and 4 have to happen all at the same time, okay? You can't go in and spend 30 to 60 minutes giving love in first thing in the morning and then post at 10 o'clock at night, okay? It's got to happen all at once. This is how you hack the algorithm. So once you've posted, you can then spend 30 to 60 minutes. If this is one of my extra good hacks, if you spend 30 to 60 minutes after you post, engaging with other people as well, going back to leaving meaningful comments on other people, more people are going to see your post, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 has to happen all at once, okay? In order, in that order, right? Number 5 is get into Messenger and send messages to 5 people. These could be to a friend catching up. These could be follow-ups, right? Maybe somebody commented on your post or whatever. Just make sure you're in Messenger talking to at least 5 people each day. Number 6, do your follow-ups, right? Anyone that's commented on any post or reached out to those that are interested in taking a look. Or, you know, maybe there's somebody that has sent you a message that you haven't answered, okay? Get in there and do your follow-ups. Number 7, you can do this whenever you want. Just make sure it happens every day, is 20 minutes of personal development. I listen to audiobooks while I get ready, or sometimes when I meditate, I will, you know, do like a guided meditation. That's personal development as well, okay? Here's number 8, and you're going to love this, especially if you're like me. Get off social media and go do something. So you have something to post about, right? You don't need to be on social media all day waiting for everyone to message you. If you put this into action and you create this DMO for yourself, it's going to take you anywhere between 1 to 2 hours, depending on how skilled you are on posting or going live, because that's going to, you know, you got to kind of build up that skill. But it's going to take 1 to 2 hours. Now think about this. If you could build your business every day, 1 to 2 hours, and this is your business, right? If you've got a team, you're going to spend 80% of your time building your business. 20% of your time is spent with your team, okay? Always go with the 80-20. Don't go into management mode, okay? If you go with this DMO every day, I promise you, in 10 days, you are going to have so many people to talk to. You're going to be like, holy cow, I don't even know what to do with these people, right? All right, so now what happens, because I know we're busy, right? And life happens. What happens now when your life gets hijacked? Okay, I just had this happen the other day. My son came home and he said, Mom, I need a Valentine's box for Friday and there's a contest and I want to win and this is what I want to make. And he brought me this picture, right? And I was like, I don't have time for this. I didn't schedule this in, right? This is one thing my husband hates about my schedule is I didn't schedule it in is my main thing. But your life is going to happen. Things are going to get, out of whack. And that's what the flex time is for. So remember when I said you need flex time in your calendar that you can just, maybe something didn't happen during the week, or maybe your son came home and said he needed a Valentine's box and you had to make one or go to the craft store or whatever. That's what the flex time is for. All right. But I want you to create, now that I've given you a main DMO, and I'm going to give it over to Taylor. In fact, I'm going to post it to her really quick. I think my messenger is messed up because she sent me a message earlier and I didn't see it, but I'm going to hurry and send it to her right here so she can post it in the comments because it won't let me post, but we'll see if that goes. If it doesn't go, I'll post it after. Okay. Because I know where to find the She Network. All right. Okay. So when your day gets hijacked, you need a skeletal DMO. Okay. Now for me, a skeletal DMO is a little bit different because I run a couple different businesses. I'm not only a network marketer, I'm actually an affiliate marketer. And now I'm building my own coaching business. Okay. And I just built some software. So I actually have, 3 different businesses if you look at it that way. So you need a skeletal DMO. Mine is connect with 3 people a day. If you do nothing every day, just grow your audience. Okay. That means figuring out who your perfect prospect is and getting into where they hang out into social media, getting to know, like, and trust them and adding them to your personal profile. Okay. That means that you are finding where they are, friending a few people, 5 to 10 a day. Don't go over 5 to 10 a day because Facebook will freak out and you'll go into Facebook jail. All right. So mine is connect with 3 people. Number 2, I email my list. So I have a marketing business where I email, out a valuable post to, or something of value to my list. And then number 3 is I try to go live 3 times a week. And that's been pretty much impossible the last few weeks, but you just do what you got to do to get it done, right? So make sure that you are growing and connecting with that audience if you can't do anything else, okay? You can't live on a skeletal DMO though, just so you know. You can only live on a skeletal DMO for so long because if you never promote to that audience and you never appreciate that audience, your business doesn't grow. But when stuff happens, life happens, then you've got to have what you can get done really fast, really simply. Okay. So remember when you fall off the wagon that it takes practice. Okay. Practice, practice, practice. I'm still practicing. I'm still changing around my calendar. I'm still, modifying, evaluating what worked, what didn't, what might I do differently next week. This is going, like I said, this can take you a little bit longer at first. It becomes more natural as you go. Okay. It will become a habit. If you just take the list that I gave Taylor and those 8 things, and you do that every day and you do 1, 2, 3, and 4 all together. So spend that hour and a half all together building out 1, 2, 3, and 4 on social media. And then do 5, 6, 7, and 8, later or whenever you can. That will be fabulous. Okay. The one other thing that I want to mention is you've got to track your activity. All right. You've got to be able to track your activity. And if you don't have a way to track your activity, you can write it down. Your calendar actually becomes your activity tracker if you follow it. That's the key. Because when I built this out for myself the first time, I didn't follow the DMO. I didn't honor it. I did not honor the DMO. And that's a bad thing. All right. All right. So now that we have that done, let's see, what else did I want to share with you guys? Oh yes, I do have, let me just look at my notes here that I built for you. Oh yeah, okay, here's what I wanted to share with you. This is another hack. All right, so birthdays, right? Some of you might have thousands of people on your social media already and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with all these people, right? I don't even know. And if you haven't gotten to 5,000 friends, don't just go friend a bunch of people. Make sure they're your perfect prospects. So remember the rules. They've got to be in a country that you can actually enroll them in your team, or, they are good coaching clients that can pay, right? That's just kind of what you want to look for. You got to make sure that they're not weirdos and that it's somebody you want to actually work with, right? If they're super negative or like they've got a lot of religion or politics on their thing and they're like, you know, just kind of a little bit out there, you don't necessarily want to work with those people. All right. So just make your rules fit you. All right. So you've got to track these people so that you don't lose people. And you've got to be able to rip the Band-Aid off. And so I teach my team that you get into social media with people, like you'll make a list. I make a list of people, like 30 people a week, and I'll go into social media and I'll love on them, right? And I create a list inside of Facebook. If you don't know how to do that, you can Google it. It's super simple. You're going to create a list inside of Facebook and you're going to go in and give those people love. You're only going to work like 10 to 30 people of your list weekly, okay? If you're trying to do the entire friends list at once, it's too much. So get these 30 people a week, go in and love on them. And then by like for 3 days, right? 3 to 4 days. By the end of 3 to 4 days, you should be in Messenger with them, especially if you have built out, you know, content that makes sense and people are commenting on your content. That's when you've got to rip off the Band-Aid. All right. So you can offer, you know, some value. You're really going to look for the pain inside of what people are experiencing. And then if your product, opportunity, service, coaching business, or whatever it is you're doing solves one of their pains, then you've got to offer it. Okay. You've got to say so, but you don't want to offer anything until you expose the pain. All right. Now the other thing, and this is, I lost my train of thought when I was talking about too many friends, right? So the birthday send outs. Okay. So this is something that we do in our team because we were taught when I first got on social media, build my team, to just friend a whole bunch of people, right? Get to 5,000 friends as fast as possible. Don't do that, right? Make sure they are very targeted. Okay. But on the birthdays, if you've got too many right now, you're going to go into the birthday section and you're going to look at the birthdays and you're going to be like, do I know this person? Is this person a perfect prospect? If they are, send them a birthday message, right? And say, hey, how did you celebrate, right? You want to create conversations with these people. And if they're not your perfect prospects, or they don't even post on social media, or maybe they haven't even logged in forever, or maybe you sent them a birthday message last year and they haven't even responded, unfriend them. Okay. You've got to be able to clean out your list a little bit at a time. And it's a great way so you don't get overwhelmed. It's just a few people a day, maybe 10 to 20 people a day if you've got 5,000 friends. All right. So I think that is pretty much it. If Taylor posted that list for you, then you can get busy putting that into your schedule. And your homework is, number 1, to figure out your goal. Number 2, get your calendar figured out. And number 3, add your DMO in there. And then number 4, go to work. Okay. Do, because that's how this business gets built. And I promise you, 10 to 15 days, you're going to be like, holy cow, where'd all these people come from? So let me know if you have any questions. I actually can't see the comments, but yeah.
Okay. So I've been taking notes and then putting notes inside the comments.
Oh, yay. Good job.
So people can see like what's kind of some of the stuff. So, okay. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here because I love this. So the 1 to 4. So you're saying you do this in an hour time frame. So is the time frame, is this the algorithm break? Because
when you do it together, it doesn't mean it has to be done in an hour. It means 1, 2, 3, and 4 has to happen in sequential order. Does that make sense? So you can't, once you start giving love to people, right? You can't get off social media until you post or go live.
Right.
Then you could put that down, right? And walk away for a bit, come back, do your messages in Messenger, and, move on to 6, which is your follow-ups, and, move on from there.
Okay. So I love this. So as if you guys are, if you're coming on, just know that we're giving some really simple things, that Brandy's sharing some very simple things to do to break the algorithm in the Facebook and gather like the most prospects through this process. And so the one thing, whenever you talked about the 140 characters, so can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because
so if you go into Google and you look for a character, it will be like, how do I measure characters? So it's going to be like 140 spaces, emojis, and letters that happen with punctuation and everything. So 140 is the key.
140 per person?
Yeah, on your conversation. So yeah, per person.
Is it So would it be the whole length of the conversation, or does it have to be 140 characters in that?
Yeah, good question. I've tested it both ways, and I get better results when it is over 140 characters in that one conversation. So you're like basically writing a paragraph to this person, right? Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a stretch, and like I said, when I taught this to my team, they were like, "What?" But it works, right? So it just takes a minute. You can get a measurer in Google. You just like like how many characters is this paragraph or whatever. You just post your copy and paste your words in it, and it will tell you how many characters. So use more words, descriptive, emojis, right? Like, be yourself. Obviously, you don't want to be, inauthentic, but yeah, 140 characters.
So I love this, and I love this. I love this too on the birthday thing, because really kind of cleaning out your friends, because this has been the struggle is real for me. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? What can I do with all these people? And I feel bad to I don't want to unfriend anybody,
right?
Feelings, but at the end of the day, going through that circulation process and deleting people that maybe you don't even know, how do I even know this person? Because and especially if you're in the public eye, people friend you all the time, and you're like, well, okay, yeah, we'll be friends. But then you go back and you're like, I don't even know.
I don't know you, and I haven't seen any of your posts. Like, there's no effort being made to grow the relationship, right? So one of the things that I've done for mine, because when I started, I had 5,000 friends when I started doing this, and I was like, oh, because what's happening is the people that aren't active, they're like bogging down your profile. So they're like dead weight. Does that make sense? So you're not seeing their stuff. They're not seeing your stuff, but your friends. You're not leaving any more room for new people. So what I did, I took that list of 30, and I would just pick 30 randomly right off the top. If I didn't know them, I actually would pick 30 I didn't know. And I would work through my, my process of my DMO. I would get in their profile every day. I would comment on their profile picture. I would find what they're posting, right? And I would be authentic. I get in and I'm like, hey, Taylor, I love your, your profile picture. This is awesome. Like, where did you have it taken? How long ago was this? And you're going to ask questions. If they don't answer back, guess what? They're not your perfect prospect. They don't really want to interact with you. So just unfriend them.
Well, and what I love about this methodology here is that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. So it doesn't, I have so many times, people are coming to me and they're like, well, okay, well, I don't have anybody. How do I talk to people? If I'm not listen, this is a free way for you to have engagement with people. But at the end of the day, it does require intention.
It does.
Intentional. It's not haphazard. And to your point, there is an intention to what you're actually doing. There's not like you're random, just randomly going in there. There is a madness to the method here.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love the fact that you're putting structure to it and that you've had results doing it.
Yeah, my team loves this. Somebody brand new can come in and totally crush it. Like, they can come in with no list, no friends, because obviously, if they've been in network marketing before or whatever, and they're like, I don't want to call my friends and family again, right? They're like, what do? I just teach them how to do this, how to grow a whole new list of people. And you know what? The best part about this, Taylor, is it creates this abundance mentality. You will never run out of people on Facebook.
Well,
ever.
And here's the thing, and let's just talk about this for just a minute, Brandy. Here's the thing. They don't even necessarily have to even be your friends. There's plenty of people that you can do this methodology with and create a center of influence. And center of influence is somebody that you have something in common with.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't really know them, but you can say, oh, I'm a mom. I see you're a mom. Like, you can create a center of influence with anybody with intention behind it, and to be an authentic at the same time. Because I love what you're saying too, through birthdays. How did you celebrate? Oh my gosh, you just had a birthday. Congratulations. Like, what did you guys do? You're in lockdown. I see you're in a country or you're in a space that, it's kind of crazy over there. How did you celebrate?
Right. Yeah.
That's a real genuine question too. So all of these things are so practical. It really does come back down to, I loved how you said that you said, okay, this is what I want, which anybody can do.
Right.
Now, how do I work backwards? How do I say, okay, now let's break that down into what it looks like monthly, weekly, daily, hourly.
Right.
How am I going to get there? And reverse engineer it to say, this is what needs to happen daily. If I'm going to achieve Z, then I've got to start with A, and this is my plan of attack. This is my intention, and this is what I need to do daily, and carve out that space accordingly. And here's the thing. I love what you just said, because most people haphazardly go through their day, go through their business, and have no direction, don't know what to do next. And with real no way of hiring or firing, because they don't know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they're kind of just lost, right? Maybe you're brand new and you've never owned a business. Maybe you've always been an employee and you've had a boss tell you what to do. Like, it's really a whole new world, right? So knowing exactly how to get in and start growing that audience and growing that influence and then promoting to them, it's really incredible. It works for everyone. Brand new, it works for someone like me. Like, when I'm doing my daily mode of operation every day, by the end of the week, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people everywhere, right? And I could organically enroll 8 to 10 people a month just from doing this.
Guys, ladies, did you hear what she just said? There's no excuses not to have somebody to have a conversation with. And it's free.
Right. The best part about it is, if you've got kids and, you're like, holy cow, I got to be to work by 8 a.m. You know what? Get up at 5, do your love, get all of that done, post by 4, and you're out, right? You get home from work, deal with your kids, get dinner, get them in bed, and when you get to bed, like me, it's late, 11, you can go back into Messenger, right? And do your personal development. And then, get out back the next day and do it all over again. It's super simple, but it's mastering that mundane that really grows your business. It really makes a huge difference.
So, that is the thing right there. Mastering the mundane. I've always said this phrase, this quote, it's, successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do.
Exactly. And it's not hard, right? It's definitely not hard. Is it hard to go in and talk to people for 30 to 60 minutes that you've already, qualified that you're perfect prospects? No. Is it hard to go check your notifications for 5 to 10 minutes? No. Is it hard to post a post on social media? Well, it might be at first, but you just learn, mimic, model, make it your own, right? If Taylor posts something that you love, don't steal her post, copy and paste it, right? Use your own story. Take her post and model it. She has a ton of stuff that she puts out that is incredible that you could model. So,
wow. Well, Brandy, this has been absolutely amazing. Ladies, I hope that if you just are coming on, if you catch this stream later, please do yourself a favor. Take time to go watch it. Take some notes. Absolutely incredible nuggets for you to really break the algorithm of what Facebook is. Have a real easy way for you to have people flowing through your business that you can have conversations with, that you can share your story, share your product, share your service, share your opportunity, and build and grow your business. It's doable, right?
Right.
I love it. Thank you so much, Brandy, for taking out time from your business. I know
you bet. I loved being here. Love sharing with your incredible network here. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to say bye to you privately. Ladies, tune in. I hope you got some value. Let me know. And you guys have a blessed, amazing day. Love you all.
Later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.